Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our bold analysis. Today, the 3rd of July, there is a debate that is being held in Citizen TV. And that debate is the Uasin Gishu gubernatorial debate, a race that is pitting Buzeki Bondotich on independent ticket against Koti Moja, who is the UDA nominee for the seat, eyeing to inherit or rather to take over from Jackson Mandago. Uasin Gishu is the home to deputy president, and of course a lot is expected. But why do you think, and rather this debate is the first one that was going to happen, the first high-ranking, high-profile interview, rather high-profile debate after the UDA team released their manifesto? And this is also one of the areas that is very specific to this debate. But why do you think that the UDA team has decided to pull off from that debate? According to reports that are emerging, is that Koti Moja has been asked, or rather withdrawn from that debate, and he's not going and he's not participating. That is because of some specific reasons. However, I also need you to understand that he's not the first governor that is skipping a debate. In fact, in UDA, the only governor that has come out to attend a debate is Wamatangi from Kiambu, and perhaps it is because of specific reasons, because that interview or that debate was actually in Inoro, and it was not in Citizen TV. Aisha Jumwa, there was a debate in Kilifi that was being held by Kenya Media Council. Aisha Juma skipped. KBC also had a Narok, the gubernatorial debate in Narok. Patrick Mtutu, UDA nominee, skipped. In Nakuru, there was a Nakuru gubernatorial debate that was pitting Kihika and Liki Nyanjui, and Susan Kihika withdrew herself from it. She skipped that. So, however, there have been two areas, or rather there have been two defense reasons that have come up, that some of the media houses are already framed on their political alienations, and prior to such debates, they can create, or rather they can formulate, they can frame hard questions on specific candidates, especially the ones that are on the side of deputy president. However, I challenge that because in media, I think the credit goes to the viewers. The viewers have a chance, and by all, before someone walks to a debate, what viewers expect is fairness. What can only happen is that the debate can expose your weakness, but the media cannot expose your weakness. It is the debate that can expose your weakness. If I ask you hard questions and you answer, you will actually benefit. You will actually be the hero of that interview. And then, if you look at the areas of Uasin Gishu, Azimio doesn't have a strong candidate. It's a debate between people from the same place, and political alienation is not very extreme. So maybe you can say the contrary for Nakuru and Kilifi, but Uasin Gishu was very critical. What do you think is the reason why this the Koti Moja, especially Koti Moja, has been withdrawn from that debate? As I mentioned, he comes from the home of deputy president, and who is calling these shots? I want to say kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and kindly like our video. When you like our videos, through that you are promoting our channel. Being that this interviews, or rather this debate, is the first one since the manifesto was launched, I want to believe that the question framework, or rather the structure of questions in this debate, will also have an input from that manifesto. And again, this will be an opportunity for Koti Moja to explain in details about aspects of that manifesto that touches to Kiambu, to Uasin Gishu voters. However, that is it. So what do you think is happening? I want to agree with analysts who say that Deputy President's manifesto was a bit complex. It was lengthy, and some of these aspirants did not internalize. They don't understand. In fact, for presidential candidates, if they want to have synergy with the governor and MP and Senate candidates in different areas, before that manifesto is released to the country, before the national mainstreaming of the campaign, I think the candidates should be taken through step by step, finer details of each manifesto, so that they don't look like they are ambushed. And I want to believe that Ruto team, strategy team, realized that because of the complexity of that manifesto, a governor might not customize whatever is in that manifesto in the context of their areas of jurisdiction, in the context of their counties. Whatever was national, whatever DP Ruto gave, honest was national. The only thing that would help the counties is on the issue of the devolution. In Ruto's speech on devolution, if you look at it honestly, it was shallow. It was shallow because there was no definite statement what exactly Ruto will do. The only thing that stands out in his devolution pitch is that he's going to release the funds in time. I want you to compare that with Raila's speech on manifesto. Raila has spoken about one county, one product. One county, one product. That is something that a governor debate will go and say, because in our national manifesto, we have the one county, one product, I'll make sure that I abstain maybe something, a product that is in their county. But that is not there. So it's becoming difficult for the UDA aspirants to customize the manifesto to their respective elective positions, or rather to speak to their audience. But there is also the question of incompetence, because some of, and this applies to Aisha Jumwa, and I want to be categorical, this does not apply to Susan Kihika. Aisha Jumwa is also one of the candidates, is one of the aspirants that was being rumored to be having faulty academic certificates, and you just know the hula baloo around her candidature. So this kind of candidates, you wouldn't want to expose them. I was also talking to a friend who is a lecturer around that place, and was telling me that there is a school of thought that Koti Moja have never held an administrative position. He's lacking administrative experience. One thing that the debates are going to show is, one, the kind of trust that the voters should have on you. Apart from that trust, they're also going to measure the competence. Are you really having the expertise, the experience? Do you really have what it takes to do the job? And thirdly, when talk about the experience or about the trust, it touches on whether you know county, these are very senior officials in the county. So it's also going to look at your track record, whether there is something you've done in the past and you want to build on it, or maybe your track record in whatever in other areas that you've been. That is something that the debate will want to expose. So the question of incompetence can also not be undermined. But let me tell you, the question of media, why DP Ruto is doing this is the main reason. It is a ploy to discredit the media role in this election. I tell you that after the Kenyan consumers, not the Kenyan consumers, the Kenyan people believe what the media says more than what the politicians are saying. And that is why when a newspaper headline runs, Raila is at 50% and so is at 20%, it rubs the politicians wrongly. especially the ones that feel they've been aggrieved, because they know there is a lot of trust that is bestowed on media. Kenyans believe media. And in the past, they have been crying out that some of the media stations are skewed and are supporting some candidates. So, for example, Oscar Sudi was saying that Citizen should not even cover them. Citizen should never talk about them. And Oscar Sudi is from Uasin Gishu. The governor that was to be interviewed is from Uasin Gishu. I want to believe that if there is a media protest, if there are people who maybe can consume what Oscar Sudi is saying are people from Uasin Gishu. Now, to make sure that that is not undone, discrediting media reports is not undone, they withdraw these candidates. And this will be creating a momentum for an imminent withdrawal of William Ruto from the presidential debate. Who knows? Maybe in the next 2 weeks, he will also be grabbing headlines for having skipped the presidential debate. Even though I don't expect him to do that. I can tell you if he does that, from experts' point of view, that will be catastrophic on himself. Now, discredit media. Why? You want to discredit media, number one, is first to make sure that, number one, the opinion polls that they release are not trusted. That is the number one. Number two, the media is also running political campaigns and political messages. Especially Citizen is running a campaign on Raila Odinga with Martha Karua. That advert is running like every hour. So imagine a situation where the debate is going on, they take a break, then they run that advert for Raila Odinga, and the audience that is consuming, because it is Uasin Gishu debate, that audience is mostly from Rift Valley. So even if they may not interact with that message positively, but already visibility they shall have gained. So William Ruto team will see that because such a station is running an advert on Raila Odinga's presidency, they should withdraw their candidates for that. But honestly, the specialists and candidates, I saw the Nandi speaker, Nicholas, a very articulate guy, have been going to Citizen despite the fact that he comes from a region that supports William Ruto. However, there is an element of the county economic forums. I want to believe that if I was framing questions for a debate of these governors, one thing, the question that I would one ask, not even about the manifesto, but the contents of the county economic forums. I want to say here, the county economic forums were campaign avenues. However, they are being used, they're campaign avenues, but they were being used just to wink the voters. The governor aspirants, even the sitting governors who convene those meetings, do not have a single idea of what is in that statement, what is in that content. They don't have, because everything is mainstreamed. So I think the Kenya Kwanza team are realizing that during these debates, their aspirants are being asked about the recommendations from those economic forums and whether they have been given to them or how they are going to be implemented or operationalization of those recommendations. And they might have realized that people are not in the know. So the best thing to do will be to withdraw those candidates so that they don't expose. There is an element of opaqueness. However, as someone who has worked in media, and I want to agree that media can destroy you or build you. If you're a candidate, I think one thing, if you ask me to advise, is free. Go and appear in that interview. Perform poorly, perform better, there is something that you will gain. People who are consuming the mainstream media, Citizen, is not only the people from Uasin Gishu. It's not only that. And again, I think because Ruto comes from that area, they might be pushed to the wall to speak about the stake of William Ruto in Rift Valley. The stake of William Ruto has been low because Ruto has offered most to the other regions, Mount Kenya, Musalia Mudavadi, Western Coast, but in Rift Valley is just the presidency. No one has been promised any other thing. So perhaps these are kind of questions that he wouldn't want to appear, or rather to come over now, as we get towards this election. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold analysis.